Hi everyone, this is Noelle at Petitti Garden Centers, and we're talking about fertilizing houseplants. Now, you normally don't do this during the winter months, so we avoid fertilizing usually around October, November, December, January, February, and we once we move into March, and we spring forward, you start to notice a big difference in how your plants react to the growing of the daylight, okay? And the day length is lengthening and the plants are reacting to it. That's when you want to start fertilizing them again. They're sleeping in the winter. They don't use a lot of fertilizer or water even for that matter. So it's kind of like wasting your money. So fertilize when they're actively growing, and that's going to help them really perform much better for you. Most of your fertilizers, when you come to the garden center, you're going to find different formulations for different plants because some of them do like more types of nutrients versus the other that don't need those nutrients. So I'm going to explain to you how a fertilizer ratio works. And I have the Shultz plant food, which is a 10, 15, 10 fertilizer. Normally it's about 7 drops of this plant food, and you can really use it indoors or outdoors. And so you take 10 drops of the dropper and you put it in to about 1 quart of water. So your smaller watering can is what's going to work for you inside the house, and then when you move outside you'll use a larger watering can. So what happens with that is the first number in the fertilizer ratio is nitrogen, and nitrogen helps green foliage, okay? So if you have a foliage houseplant like this Dieffenbachia, then your nitrogen number probably is a higher percentage because you're trying to keep those leaves green, okay? So we call that the up number too, so just remember that. It's the up growth on that plant, the foliage growth. The middle number is actually phosphorus, and phosphorus helps plant root systems develop, okay? So a lot of root stimulators, they have a high middle number because they're trying to get the roots to develop in that plant. It also helps blooming and fruiting. So if you're trying to get a lemon tree or a lime to start developing those flowers and fruit, you'll notice that there's usually a higher middle number in a citrus food versus something like the Dieffenbachia or foliage plant food, okay? Same thing with orchid food. You'll always notice that higher middle number on orchid foods as well. The last number is potassium or potash, and what you're going to notice is with potassium, it's an all over grower. So it helps the entire plant body, the root system, the leaves, the flowering, the stems, everything. So it's nice to have a balanced type fertilizer, but again, helping that plant out overall. So again, those 3 numbers, they do represent nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and so they will help the plant up, down, and all around. So that's kind of how we keep track of our fertilizer ratios, and you'll always find that on every fertilizer package. The other thing that I want to remind you is that fertilizers, you really do want to read the package instructions. Make sure you're not over fertilizing, because with some of these fertilizers you actually could burn the plant or make it grow so fast that it might stress out for you. So read the package, apply it the way that you're supposed to, and you'll be fine. Usually liquid fertilizers are applied about once every week to 2 weeks, so 7 to 14 days typically. And your granular fertilizers like Osmocote, I have it over here, Osmocote can last for 6 months. So really one application of this going into the growing season will take you a very long way with your houseplant. So that's something to consider too. If you're not good about remembering fertilizer, you might want to try something like Osmocote, and that'll work really nicely, or plant spikes. So those are usually available as well around your houseplant area. And those can work as kind of a long-lasting food for you. About 30 to 60 days normally your plant spikes will last in that pot of your plant for you. Some other neat types, there's lots of organic options out there. So if you like to use organic foods and soils and things, there's some good organic options, and they kind of have a nice easy pre-measure. You go ahead and tip it over. It's got just the right amount for a quart watering can like this to go ahead and measure out. So you literally can tip this cap open and you can just pour that pre-measured amount right into the watering can. You'll notice that it just came out real nicely. And then you go ahead and shut that lid, and basically you're ready to go. You're ready to water your orchid. So watering in the morning is always great. Making sure that the water is not sitting in the pot. You want to make sure that it's draining out after about a half an hour that that plant has been watered. And again, because the day length has increased, these plants are going to start needing a little bit more water. Don't go too crazy, but they will start to utilize water more. So do keep an eye out for that, and you'll probably need to slowly increase your watering for your houseplants indoors. If you have any other questions, folks, please, by all means, write us a question. We'll answer about houseplant fertilization, and enjoy.